If you're looking at Woodstock, Georgia, and you're wondering, can I actually afford to live there? Don't guess. In this video, we're gonna be walking through real world numbers so you can see if Woodstock actually fits your life and your budget. If you're comparing cities north of Atlanta like Canton and Woodstock, Alpharetta and Roswell, and every listing is starting to blur together, stay right here. In the next few minutes, we're going to unpack what it really costs to live in Woodstock. Everything from housing, to taxes, to utilities, to insurance, transportation, and everyday expenses in plain English. I'm Jackie Hart, a local real estate agent who loves living in the North Metro Atlanta area. If you're thinking about making a move, you can call, text, or email me. My number is right here on the screen along with my email. Whatever is easiest for you is the best way we will connect. Now, let's start with the big one, housing. For most people, housing is the single biggest line item in the budget. Recent data shows average home values in Woodstock are hovering around the mid 400,000s. Cherokee comes in a bit higher on average. Some data sets will still show median values in the low 400s. So that exact number you will see depend on which source and time frame you're looking at. In practical terms, here's what that means when you're scrolling listings. Townhomes and smaller homes often start in the mid 300,000s, sometimes higher depending on the age and the location. Move-up single-family homes are commonly around the 450 to 700,000 range. In larger homes, newer construction, or homes on a bigger lot can easily run up to 700,000 and up. Now, those ranges shift with neighborhood, lot size, condition, and how close are you to the downtown area versus farther out. The important part is not just what's the average, but what do I actually get for my money in the pocket of Woodstock that actually fits my lifestyle? In a second, we're going to talk about property taxes, utilities, insurance, because your monthly payment is not just principal and insurance. This is where that seems affordable to, oh, that's my actual number. Woodstock is in Cherokee County, and the property taxes here are often described as moderate compared to many metro areas. Here's the basic structure. In Georgia, property taxes are based on 40% of the home market's value, which becomes the assessed value. Local millage rates are then applied to that assessed value to calculate your tax bill. Cherokee County's effective property tax rates end up around the low 0.7% range when you look at the average as a percentage of the market value. For many Woodstock homeowners, that translates into roughly $3,000 to a little over $3,000 per year in property taxes on a typical home. Although the exact number will depend on your purchase price, exemptions, and the current millage rate. Two key points. The city of Woodstock lowered its millage rate for 2026, which helped reduce or stabilize property taxes for many homeowners. If you live in the home as your primary residence, you may be eligible for a homestead exemption, which can reduce your taxable value and lower your bill. When we're looking at houses together, we'll pull the actual current tax information on a specific property so you're not guessing. So next up, let's talk about utilities, because Georgia summers are no joke. For a typical Woodstock household, you're looking at electricity as your big variable.
What's the weather like out there? It's hot, damn hot, real hot. Hotter than this is my shorts, I can cook things in it.
Summer AC usage can drive bills way up. Natural gas for heating and cooking, depending on the home, and water and sewer are usually billed through the county or the city. Now, recent cost of living data puts average energy bills around the ballpark of $180 per month for just electricity alone, depending heavily on home size and how you like your thermostat. When you add in gas, water, sewer, trash, and internet, many households land somewhere around the low to mid 300s up to $400 per month range for total utilities, again, depending on usage and square foot. The bottom line, utilities here typically run below national average, but you still want to build in some breathing room, especially for the summer power bills, because they don't call it Hotlanta for nothing. If you're still watching, this is where we separate the Instagram version of Woodstock from the spreadsheet version. We got insurance, transportation, and day-to-day costs. This is the part most people don't calculate until after they move. And before we go there, quick reminder, I'm Jackie Hart, a local real estate agent here in the North Metro Atlanta area. If you want to walk through what these numbers might look like for you and your budget based on actual homes and neighborhoods, you can call or text me or shoot me an email. My info is right here on the screen. Homeowner insurance is another key piece of the cost of living puzzle. Statewide data for Georgia shows average homeowners insurance premiums are close to like $2,000 per year, but that's a broad average. Your actual premium in Woodstock will depend on things like the value of the home and what it would cost to rebuild it, the age and condition of the roof, any prior claims or claims on your own record, your deductible and coverage options like extended replacement costs and water backup or higher liability limits. When you're under contract on a home, we'll usually have you get quotes from one or more insurance providers during your due diligence period so you can actually see real numbers, not just a statewide average. So there is no guessing and you'll know your numbers before we get to the closing table. Woodstock is a car-centric suburban city. There's no way around that. Most people rely on personal vehicles, and that means fuel costs, routine maintenance and repairs, auto insurance, and time. Your commute is a cost too. Recent data pegs average commute times for Woodstock residents around the high 20-minute range, give or take depending on where you work. Overall transportation costs in Woodstock coming in a few percentage points lower than the national average when you factor in fuel, maintenance, and typical driving patterns. If your office is in the Atlanta proper or along a major corridor, the commute time and traffic pattern is something we'll talk about early because it's one of those hidden costs that doesn't show up on a mortgage calculator. So at this point, you're probably thinking about, okay, I get the housing, the taxes, and the bills, but what about my everyday life? Like we're talking about groceries, going out, the little stuff that adds up. Let's talk about that next. On the day-to-day side, Woodstock costs are in line with what you expect from a growing suburban city just north of a major metro. Groceries and household items track close to national averages, sometimes a bit under depending on what and where you shop. Restaurants and local spots run the usual range from quick service to sit-down places and breweries, similar to other suburban Atlanta areas. Overall cost of living data sets show housing and utilities in Woodstock coming in below national averages, which offsets some of those metro area price pressures you might see closer in. On the education side, Woodstock is served by the Cherokee County School District, which has over 40,000 students across the county. Cherokee County has some of the most top-rated schools in the state. Some of the schools commonly researched in and around Woodstock include Woodstock High School, River Ridge High School, and Etowah High School. Publicly available rating sites like greatschools.org and niche.com show many Woodstock area schools with above average scores or grades. But here's the important part. Different platforms use different methods, and what matters for one family may not matter for another. I always recommend that you check multiple sources like greatschools.org and niche.com, look at official district information, and if at possible, visit the school or talk directly with the district for the most current information. When people ask, can I afford Woodstock? What they're really asking is, what kind of home can I realistically buy here? What will I pay in taxes, utilities, and insurance each year? And does that fit with what I want my lifestyle to look like? And all those questions are very valid. Now here's the big picture. Based on 2026 data, we've talked through housing. The median and average values generally between $400,000 to $450,000, with a real world average of $300,000 for smaller options into $700,000 and beyond for larger or newer homes. Property taxes often around $3,000-ish per year depending on value, exemptions, and millage. Utilities roughly around $180 to $400 per month depending on home size and usage and time of year. Homeowners insurance around $2,000 per year on average statewide with local variations. Transportation and daily expenses slightly below national average in some categories, aligned with some others. Your numbers will shift based on your home, the neighborhood, and your lifestyle, but now you've got a realistic frame to start from instead of just a guess. If you're running the numbers on Woodstock and thinking this might work, but I need to see what it actually looks like for me, that's exactly what I'm here for. I'm Jackie Hart, a local real estate agent who loves living in the North Metro Atlanta area, and I help people every day make sense of those numbers in real time, not just on a spreadsheet. You can call, text, or email me. My phone number is right here on the screen. Send whatever is easiest for you. You can send me a quick text, a longer email, or give me a call if you're ready to talk it out. Tell me your budget, your timeline, and what you want your lifestyle to actually look like and to feel like. We'll figure out together whether Woodstock makes sense or if another metro city actually fits better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.